Well, good morning, everyone. We are going to do a ship tour, talk about Regent cruises today. You'll hear some of the good, the bad, and the ugly. May do some other videos explaining more about how things have been on this trip. We are actually supposed to be at sea today. Instead, we are in port in Cadiz. And so I'm going to do a ship tour this morning, and I'll also tell you why we're still in Cadiz. But yeah, things haven't gone very smoothly on this cruise, to say the least. But more about that later. Right now, we're going to do the ship tour. So we are up on deck 12. This is the top of the ship. It's as high up as you can go. And here we are in the port of Cadiz. So we'll just walk down here. This is the walking, jogging track. And I'm just going to walk down here to the end, and I believe down here is pickleball and shuffleboard. This ship is quite old, pretty worn. It's not receiving the level of maintenance that it should, and it's unfortunate. The basic theme of this cruise has become luxury cruising without the luxury. But again, more about that as we walk around the ship. I'll explain some things. But being stuck in port here today because the ship has mechanical problems. We left Cadiz actually yesterday, last evening. Had to turn around, came back to the port and docked somewhere around midnight, and they are supposedly working on the ship, although I don't see anybody here working on anything. They refuse to tell us exactly what's wrong, and which that in itself is unexcusable. You know, nobody on this ship is a child. We're all big boys and girls coming on this cruise. You can say that the bulk of the people are quite successful, and for them to treat us like red-headed stepchildren and not tell us what's going on is extremely poor. But with that goes hand in hand how customer service has been on the ship pretty much since day one. And so here we go. We have a shuffleboard court, and up here and over here we have the putting greens. They don't look too bad. And I think there's, well, this is croquet. And so, yeah, that's what's up here on deck 12. And now we're going to go down to deck 11 and show you what's there. Okay, so we've just come down to deck 11. This is what's on deck 11, which is the buffet, and at night it turns into the Italian restaurant, the observation lounge, the pool bar, pool grill, and a few of the suites. So we're going to walk around this, show you what this area looks like, and it's around noon, so the buffet back here has, I believe, just opened, and we'll get to see a little of what that looks like while it's still nice and fresh. Good morning. And here we have some salad stuff and salad dressing, marsala potatoes, vegetables, some rice, chicken samosas, and lamb korma, some fish, Indian fish. Good morning. Morning. I have to say that the kitchen staff, the wait staff on this ship has been absolutely superb. They are the nicest, friendliest people we have come across. The only problem for them is that they are overworked. It appears that Regent has reduced down the staff to guest ratio, and what that is doing is overworking these people, and it is just totally unfair to them, because these are the people that are trying to keep the level of service up on this ship, and it is quite difficult to do when there's a shortage of staff. And so it's pretty disheartening to see these people struggling, but they do it well, and they do it with a smile on their face. So this is a little outdoor sitting area. You can eat your lunch, or actually eat Italian at night right there. So we're going to come back and have lunch in a few minutes, but before we do that, we'll take a quick tour. We'll take a quick tour of the rest of the deck 11. And you'll see the pool area. And most people, this was supposed to be our day at sea, and so most people are going to be out here sitting by the pool anyway. Now we're sitting at the pool in port, and we have no idea if we're making it to Barcelona or not, if we're going to have to get off the ship here in Cadiz, or what's going to happen, what happens with our flight arrangements, And so, we're all just sitting and wondering and hanging around. This is the pool grill. I'll just do a brief video of that. And here you can get hamburgers, hot dogs, besides a number of cooked items. It's actually quite nice, and hamburgers here at the pool grill have been one of our favorites. So now we're just going to walk around here. You can see the pool area, hot tub, 2 hot tubs, and there's the pool. And there's one bar out here, and that's been There's a couple of guys over there just hanging out. We've been hanging with them in the Cigar Lounge, and their wives every night. Well, one of the things that we have found is that here's some more people. I thought you were playing golf today.
Of course I'm playing golf. I'm playing right now.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, and this guy, yeah.
Mr. Popper, please don't make me movies of me. I've told you already.
What's that?
Warning you. I'm warning you. This is the
Yeah.
first and last time that you make a movie of me.
Yeah?
You're
Okay.
forbidden to disclose any movie of me. Okay?
I'm glad I got that on tape. And this is the bar. And there's some suites up here. And here's the lounge up here. This lounge. It's in the front of the ship. And there's a bar here. This lounge is quite nice. It's sort of out of the way from all the other activities. And it would be an ideal venue for afternoon tea, but it's not used for that. Especially in the afternoon when the ship is usually leaving port. It'd be a nice place to have tea and watch what's going on. And that's pretty much all of deck 11. And we will then do one of the typical decks before we go down to where the rest of the activities on the ship occur, which is on deck 6, 5, and 4. This is, by the way, the main atrium. I'll take a little bit of video here. And as you can see earlier, the management staff is absolutely horrendous on this boat. And I will discuss more of many of those issues towards the end of this video. And anybody thinking about going on a Regent cruise should clearly think about that and reconsider what they intend to do, because this is a cruise line that portrays itself as a luxury cruise, and there is no luxury. And with that, more later.
From here to Seville.
Okay, so here we are on deck 8, and these are deck 10, 9, 8, 7 are all typical decks. So we're just going to walk through basically one of them for a little bit. There's the aft area, and there's a couple of suites back here. And I'm not going to walk all the way down the hallway because there's absolutely nothing to see.
Hello.
And same thing on the other side, and this actually happens to be the deck that we're on. So we're going to walk through here so you can see what these hallways look like. That's our cabin, 843. And at the end of this hallway, we're back at the main atrium with the glass elevators. And here we are at the atrium. You can see the elevators there. And I'll walk over here. You can see up here to the skylight. And all the way down to deck 4. And so they have what a typical floor looks like on the ship. And we will now go down to deck 6. Deck 6 has the fitness center, laundry, library, and the salon stuff. And so, more when we get down there. Okay, so we just arrived at deck 6. And deck 6 has the spa, wellness, a little map of the ship, and here what's on deck 6. So we'll walk around a bit and you can see that everything that's here. So this is the hair salon.
You're getting better.
And little waiting area here. Good morning. And this is the aerobics room.
In my
And the hallway for the massages.
for my
This is all the massage room.
back. Okay, that's it.
And the gym. Pretty decent array of equipment. Only problem with the gym is that the ship has been rocking so much, and may be one of the reasons why we're in port and it's not working. This is one of the typical massage rooms. And then over here is the sauna. How you doing?
Good, how you?
Anybody around in here?
No,
Empty?
There's nobody in here now. There was a guy that just left.
And no pictures of the sauna because it's in use. But yeah, that's what's down at this end. And over here is the library. And over on the other side is a table, and they're been doing puzzle on this table.
Where we should be. And one of us may say, "Wait, this is it."
And that's pretty much it for here, except there's some cabins and laundry facility down there. And so we're now going to go down to deck 5, which is 5 and deck 4 are the two interesting decks, and we will be back shortly with those. Okay, here we are on deck 5. A lot of stuff on here. I won't go through them all. You can read all of them, but it's 2 of the specialty restaurants and the coffee and a few other things. So let's walk around and take a look. This is the coffee connection. It's open a good part of the day. Nothing great about it. Just if you need a snack, stuff is here.
How badly does this mess you folks up?
And this is just a seating area for that part. There's a reception where they are very unhelpful. And over there's the tour desk. And the young lady sitting back over there is the restaurant reservation. And we will walk through. This is Future Cruise, which I don't know why anybody would want to use that. General manager who doesn't manage and is totally useless. And here we have an array of shops. And since we are in port, nothing is open. And so now we're approaching Prime 7, which is the steakhouse. And take a little bit of video of this. And if you've watched some of the other videos, you may have caught some of our dinner nights. And we have been in Prime 7 2 times during the cruise. And so that's one specialty restaurant. And I'll come over here since we've got a little map. You'll be able to see where we are. And we'll continue walking towards the lounge. And this lounge is also the one that's used for afternoon tea. And this is exactly one of the problems is that here's a bar and virtually everybody's on board and there is nobody around taking care of it. And that's been a continuous issue. If they're doing some type of specialty lunch today, I think it's some kind of a wine lunch. But that's, this is Chartreuse, the French restaurant. Yep, that's what they're doing today. It's the connoisseur wine lunch. And this is the lounge. Also, pretty interesting, nice spot. Good location for afternoon tea. Although I think the lounge at the front of the ship would be better. Yeah, I see people are decided to get off the ship because the ship won't give anybody any information about making connections, leaving when we're supposed to be in Barcelona. And so people are just fed up and they are just walking off the ship. The ship has made no arrangements for anybody or anything to help them, not even with their luggage, to the end of the pier. So people are just taking their luggage and rolling it down the dock. And it's pretty sad. This is supposed to be a luxury cruise line, and it is a luxury cruise line without the luxury. And that I can't say more strongly because it clearly is not what we expected. This is our first Regent cruise. It will be our last Regent cruise. We found that other than the wait staff and the lower end staff, were all extremely nice, and I can't say enough about them. Management has been horrendous. Entertainment has been horrendous. The food quality has been mediocre at best. It's just on and on. It is not what anyone expects from paying the kind of money that is charged on this cruise. You get basically nothing. You go on tours, and it's a small ship, and you end up going on large group tours, just like you would do on any mainstream cruise line. And so there is no benefit to having your tours included in your fare. Most of the tours are, only a few dollars, and you run around, and the tours are not very good. As a matter of fact, we have not been on one that we really liked. And so, when making a decision as to what cruise line you want to go on, do as you wish. Everybody has their own opinions, but my opinion of this cruise line is that over the years, we've heard this from a huge number of passengers, that the cruise line has gone down, down, and down. I don't know if it's because corporate is just lowering its standards, or whether corporate just doesn't care, or if they're aware of what is going on these ships. And so I think there's better in the marketplace. I think there's much better in the marketplace. And you can get a much better value for your money, but I do not call this luxury cruising. Anyway, we're back at the main atrium, and I will walk down to deck 4 and show you around deck 4. Deck 4 is also what's being used as the gangway, people going ashore. And so over here, we have the casino. And I have to say the casino staff has been very nice and fun to play with, but they were really an outside vendor anyway. And so, yeah, it's been good with them, and we've enjoyed our times in the casino, win or lose, we've liked it. And across the way is the Voyager Lounge. Now, one thing I want to point out is that this bar right here in the Voyager Lounge, which is closed like it usually is during the day, is the lounge for this room. It is also the lounge for the casino, and it is also the lounge for the card room and the Cigar Lounge, which is up here. And so what happens is that during the day, if you come to the Cigar Lounge and you want to drink, there is nobody to be found. This has been a continuous problem here, in that there has been nobody taking care of anybody on this deck until somebody screams at them. And then there seems to be a response. And that's not how things should be. The way things should be is they should anticipate your needs and not wait for you to start running around and looking. Let me see if this is open. Yes, it is. So this is the main lounge. This is the entertainment area. There's also the place where you come and pick up your tickets for your tours, and it's a nice venue. I think the sound system and everything needs to be updated. It's pretty poor. The entertainment has been pretty poor. Even though the ship has a smaller number of passengers, I believe it's around 500, the quality of the entertainment is not commensurate with the level of this cruise. And so that's this area. There's some bathrooms over here. And over on this side is a conference room. That conference room was also used for religious services, this space. And then next door is the card room. And now we will proceed to Compass Rose, which is the main dining room. So as you can see before, in the Horizon Lounge, the bar is in there, and that bar serves all of these spaces with only a few employees. And so it's actually lunchtime now. There are a few people having lunch here, but yeah, this is Compass Rose. The food in here has been mediocre at best. There's been an occasional dish that's been good, but for the most part, all the proteins have been poor quality. They've been attempted to be made into edible dishes by use of sauces and things, but for the most part, It's been
Good afternoon.
pretty dismal.
Welcome to the Voyager.
Thank you. Thank you. And so we're here in the after the shift, and we're going to walk back to the front. And that pretty much concludes my ship tour of 7 Seas of Voyager. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to do a description of a little bit more about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the very ugly. And it's sort of going to be a little rant. And for those considering Regent for a future cruise, I think it's worth listening to. And with that, we will conclude our ship tour, and we will see you later. Hi everybody. So I said I would do a recap of this cruise at the end of the ship tour, and that's what we're doing. We're sitting here in the Cigar Lounge, and it's empty right now, so I think it's a good time to discuss the cruise. So first we'll start with the good. And the good has been the wait staff, the maitre d's in the restaurants, even the room staff has been pretty good. It's basically, all of the workers that are taking care of the customers on a daily basis. They have been superb. They try and do everything they can do. And as I said earlier in the videos, the problem is that it appears that Regent has cut the staff to passenger ratio back, and the staff are just overworked, not enough staff to take care of the customers' needs, and they are running around crazy all the time. With that, and being overworked as much as they are, they still do everything with a smile. Everything is courteous with them. They try and do as much as they can, but they have been, their hands have been tied, and they can only do so much. And so, as far as that part of the cruise goes, 5-star with the service staff. Now, moving on to the bad parts, that falls into a number of different categories. And first we'll start with food. The food in the main dining room has been mediocre at best. Most of the proteins are poor quality that they try to elevate. Meats and chicken and pork have been tough. Fish has been sort of okay. Appetizers are so-so. Basically, not anywhere near what people have said Compass Rose has been in the past. It appears that the quality and food level has dropped considerably. And so when making a choice for a cruise, it's something to take into account, because it's a major part of cruising on a luxury cruise line. So that takes care of food. Then we turn to the tours. Tours have been poor. They're rushed. They're large group. Going on a smaller ship where the cruises are included, not the cruises, the tours are included, you would think that there would be smaller groups, more personalization, more time to actually see some things. Each one of the tours that we have gone on have been a big bus, 30 to 40 person tour, and the same thing you would find going on any mainstream large cruise line. So there is no benefit of having the tours at ports included in your fare when you're not getting anything different or special other than the fact that it's included in your fare. Moving on from that, we will go to the bad. I mean the ugly. And the ugly is this. On our first port of call, we, in Funchal, my wife slipped and fell and hurt herself pretty badly. The tour guide, prior to taking my wife to the hospital, had us fill out an accident report. Then she called a taxi and had us taken to the hospital. What she neglected to tell us was that there was 2 hospitals, a public one and a private one. We were taken to the public hospital and it was horrible. We eventually left because it was what everybody can imagine what a third world hospital is like. That's what this was. We then came back to the ship, took a taxi back to the ship, and when we arrived, we told security at the entrance to the ship that we needed to see the doctor. Well, at that point, they wouldn't let my wife onto the ship until the doctor's nurse came to see her. We waited. My wife was not given a chair, not given a bottle of water, needed to use the restroom. Nothing was done. Then waited. Finally, the nurse came. Then she had to go report back to the doctor. Well, this time we're waiting at the gangway. Finally, she comes back and says, yes, you can come on board. And a security man came with us. Went down to the hospital, and there, again, we had to fill out reports. My wife needed to do one, and I needed to do one. Since she fell on her face and her eyes were swollen, I filled out her report as best I could, and I filled one out for myself. Then, following that, they came and did a breathalyzer on my wife. That was completely unbelievable. It wasn't a choice. It was, we need to do a breathalyzer. Well, they did the breathalyzer. The breathalyzer, of course, showed nothing. It was 0. However, at the end of all of this, I asked for a copy of the reports that we filled out and the breathalyzer. Well, they were willing to give us the reports that we signed, but they would not give us a copy of the breathalyzer. Now, why would Regent not do that? We were kept being told, oh, it's policy. Now, taking this further, nobody from Regent contacted us after the fall. Nobody contacted us when we were at the hospital if we needed assistance. Nobody contacted us, period. The first time we were contacted by anybody on the ship after this occurred was when our daughter contacted Regent in Miami. Regent was aghast at what was going on. They sent a email to the ship, and then the next day we got a telephone message from the ship's concierge asking if we needed anything or can we meet. We finally met with him, and I said, we need to have the general manager involved in this meeting. We met with him, and all we heard were excuses. There was nothing about any apology, any concern about my wife's health. There was absolutely nothing. This is not the way you treat customers and customers at this level. I can go on more with this, but we found that other customers on the ship and other passengers experienced the same kind of situation. There was a woman who came back to the ship to get a wheelchair for her husband because the dock length that we had to walk, and it's in one of my previous videos, was so long he was having trouble. Came back to get the wheelchair, and security would not allow her to have a wheelchair because they said wheelchairs don't leave the ship. And so the man struggled all the way back. Today we find ourselves in port in Cadiz. The ship is beyond repair, apparently. We're sitting here. They're providing no information as to what the issue is with the ship, whether the ship is seaworthy or not, and we're seeing passengers pack up and rolling their luggage down the dock, going to planes, hotels, whatever, making their own arrangements. Regent is not assisting in doing anything to get people to where they need to go. Tomorrow morning, We're supposed to be in Barcelona. We have not left Cadiz yet. There is no way we can be there tomorrow morning. It takes a full day at sea to reach Barcelona. So at best, if this boat leaves tonight, then we will be in Barcelona a day late. No mention of how this is going to work, whether people need to have plane reservations changed. There is just a total lack of customer service throughout this ship and apparently throughout Regent. So, in the future, if you're looking to make luxury travel plans, consider a luxury cruise line. I do not consider Regent a luxury cruise line. As we all on this cruise have said, this is luxury cruising without the luxury. Anyway, hasta la bye-bye for now, and we will see you on our next trip. Bye-bye.